Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mikayla if you're new here, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. In today's video, I'm going to share with you guys how I edit my Instagram pictures and show what apps I use to edit all of my content. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe down below and join me here on YouTube. And yeah, let's get into the video. First off, I wanted to share what I shoot my content on, which is super important, my iPhone. This is the only thing I really use to shoot my content besides my YouTube videos, which are shot on a Canon G7X, which is what you guys are seeing me through. But this is what I use to shoot all of my video and my photo content. This is a iPhone 13 Pro Max, and I use the 256 gigabyte data plan. I also subscribe to the 1 terabyte iCloud storage plan because I have so many pictures on my phone and I want to like offload them all to iCloud so that I don't have to like worry about it slowing down my phone or any of my apps or anything. All right, let's get into what kinds of photo apps that I like to use. I have them all in one folder, and I really like to use things for specific purposes. So up front, these are the 9 editing apps that I use for the most part. The main one being Lightroom. I always use this to adjust colors and tones, and I actually add certain presets, but we'll get to that. But I wanted to show you guys like kind of the apps that I typically lean toward to edit all of my pictures. Now for video, I use InShot. That's the one right in the middle, and I just edit all of my videos on here. I'll go ahead and open up an old video draft that I actually posted today when I'm filming this, but you can see that it has a ton of different ways that you can edit the video. You can also adjust the settings in here, so you can kind of play around with like the brightness and the colors and tones and everything. And I typically only edit my videos in InShot. You can also add music in this one. It's really easy to do that, and you can extract audio from like a different video that you have on your phone. So if you wanted to like use a TikTok sound, you can export the audio from that video into InShot, and you can line up everything on beat. I actually pay for the subscription for this one, but you don't have to do that. You can get the free version, but this one is paid because I'm able to access the effects and all of that kind of stuff. So that's what I do for video. It's super simple and easy. I keep it very, very minimal when it comes to video, but for pictures, it's a little bit more complicated. So it varies for every photo because every photo is different. The lighting is different and everything. My face might look a little bit different. I might have acne that day, or someone might be in the background. So I approach every photo a little bit differently, but these are the main photo apps that I typically lean toward. So I always start out with Facetune 2. I like Facetune 2 instead of Facetune 1 because you can actually adjust like the smoothing tool. So the only thing that I use this for is the smoothing tool, and I'll actually just go in and like edit a little bit under my eyes because that's a place I'm insecure about, and I like to just like smooth it out a little bit. So I'll go in and like slightly smooth out under my eyes. Maybe if I have some like texture on my face or lines in my neck, I sometimes like go in and adjust those as well. And then sometimes I have like dry elbows, or I'll have a patchy tan or something, and I'll just like smooth that out just a little bit, but nothing crazy. I don't really like to go overboard with it. I just kind of use it sparingly. Also, I like to use this for wrinkles in my clothing items. Sometimes you just don't have time to like steam the clothes, or you're like sitting down and they get wrinkled. So I like to use that to smooth it out a little bit. And then I like to bring down the smooth tool to about like 50% because I don't want it to be like too crazy smooth. I still want that natural look. I just want to like touch it up just slightly. So that's all I use this app for. So after I'm done smoothing out my skin or whatever needs to be smoothed out, there's always something in the background or on the wall, like a plug or just something that I want to be removed. So I go into the next app, which is the Retouch app. This one is $2, and I think that's like the only time you have to pay for it, so it's really worth it for me. But I'm gonna go ahead and open up this picture that we just worked on. I'm gonna select the objects tool and the brush tool, and then I'm gonna go in and I'm literally going to remove the rug out of the picture. Like, it's so crazy. So then I'm just gonna go in again and like remove the sides of the walls that I don't want to be there. You can remove the outlet as well. And you can always like play around with it and adjust. So like, I didn't like how that did the wall, so I'm just gonna try it again. You just like kind of play around with it. The best kept secret, so now you guys know this is how people get the clean white walls or remove people from the background of photos and everything. It's just like the best thing ever. So I'm gonna go ahead and save that one, and you can actually modify the original. So I'm going to modify that picture so that I don't have to save an extra picture in my camera roll. Then I'm gonna take that one and I'm gonna open it up in Snapseed. I want the picture to be bigger. I want the background to be bigger, and I want me to look smaller because I shot these in my apartment and I didn't have a big enough space to back the camera up. So I want the wall to be a lot bigger. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to Tools and I'm going to go to Expand. And then I'm literally just gonna drag it out and it's gonna expand the picture. So now that it's expanded, I'm just gonna go ahead and export that. The next app I use is Lightroom. I always use Lightroom. It's just the easiest one to edit your pictures the way you want them to. And you can save presets so that you can have the certain edits that you like over and over and over again. I always upload everything into Lightroom. As you can see, I have a ton of pictures in here. So the first thing I always do is I apply a preset. So I'll go to presets, and I actually have a set of my own. I just released them, so they're up on my website if you want to go check them out. These are what I use for all of my pictures. So what I do is I add the preset on, and then I adjust it to each photo individually because obviously not all photos are the same. It really depends on lighting. So I did drop my own presets. If you are interested, they are live on my website right now, so I will link those down in the description below. I did drop 2 preset packs. One is my OG, like the ones that I go to all year round. They are for the neutral moody girl. I really like a lower exposure aesthetic, and that's what you're gonna get with these presets. And then I also dropped a summer preset pack, which is what I use for all of my summer content. These are more of like a warmer film style, like summery feeling aesthetic. And these are curated over the past 2.5, 3 years of me creating content. I finally found my style and what I really like my photos to look like. So if you're into the same vibe as me, kind of like a lower exposure, neutral, but still a little bit colorful, then you will definitely like these presets. So I have those for sale on my website, and I will have that linked in the description below. So for the aesthetic of this photo, I want more of like a moody look, but I want it to be softer, that like something that like blurs my skin just a little bit and has a little bit of a grain. I think soft moody is gonna be the best for this photo just because it's a little bit more cool toned. And then I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna adjust the exposure just a little bit. I'm gonna bring it up to about 0.5-ish, just so it's not too dark, so you can see like the before and after. And then I'm gonna go ahead and crop it to 4:5, and because I adjusted the background, it's now going to be perfectly aligned, and now I'm like the focal point of the picture. There's a lot of negative space. I don't like it to be too cropped in unless it's like a filler photo, so this is perfect for me, and I'm gonna go ahead and save the photo. So I'm gonna show you guys how I adjust a couple more photos just to show you how I use the presets. So this next photo I shot on the street, and I want it to pull in the blacks and the grays and be really dark and low exposure. So I'm gonna actually use the dark moody preset, and because the road, you can kind of tell, is a little bit like slanted, I'm actually going to adjust the aspect of it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn on constrain crop, and then I'm gonna do the horizontal, bring it kind of like so it's even. And then I'm going to adjust the vertical crop and lower it just a little bit so I look a little bit taller. And then I'm gonna adjust the rotation just a little bit so that everything is perfectly even. Crop this to a 4:5, which is perfect for Instagram. And I'm gonna go ahead and save the photo. I'm also gonna show you guys how I do a filler photo or a Reels cover photo. So I'm just gonna go through my presets and select one that I like, that I think matches the aesthetic that I'm going for. Because this one's kind of summery, it's palm trees, I'm gonna, I think, use the Vintage Feel one. I like how moody it is, and it just adds a lot of grain and a little bit of a blur, which is like a film effect, which I really like. And then I'm actually gonna crop that to 9:16 because I'm gonna be using it as a Reels cover. Then I'm gonna go ahead and hop over into Kuni Cam, which is what I use for like a film edit. I go over to the dust effect and you can pop through and select one that you like the best. For this one, I usually keep it kind of simple. I like D1. You can bring down the saturation. I always bring it down to like maybe like 80. And then if you want to, in this app, you can also add a date on it, and you can also adjust like where on the photo that you want the date to be, which is really cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and save that. And then the other app that I use for the film aesthetic, this is like the true film aesthetic, is Cam. It's a really cool app where you can upload your pictures in and make them look like they were shot on a specific camera or on a specific type of film, which is really cool. I've just been using D Classic. So if I were to upload the filler picture that I used before with no edits, I'll show you what that kind of looks like, and it kind of makes it look like it was taken on a disposable camera, which is really cool. So if you want that like authentic film vibe, definitely go for this app. But you can't adjust anything in it, so like how it develops, it's like kind of like taking it to get developed and like how authentic that is. Like you can't adjust how it's edited, so however it comes out is just how it's gonna look. So keep that in mind if you're gonna use this app. And then the last app that I use is the Preview app. This is what I use to plan my feed out. I use it to plan my reels and all of that kind of stuff. So I go ahead and stick every photo into this app. You can add carousels, so I'll go ahead and add like a carousel. I can add in all of the pictures that we just edited, and it'll upload it as if it was a carousel post, so you can kind of preview what it will look like with the carousel like little logo thing in the corner. So you're kind of seeing a sneak peek of content that I have yet to post, or content that I have from the past that I just never posted and I'm maybe saving it for later. I have a lot of filler photos in there. I kind of keep them all in there because I have ADHD, and if I don't have them in sight, then they're out of mind. So I'll totally forget about them. So I have them in here that I can just grab and place whenever I need to, but I typically upload all of my pictures in here, and then I go ahead and plan my feed in here. So you can kind of like move things around, adjust. So we just like play around with how the pictures are, but this is my planned feed. This is what it's gonna look like for the next few days when I post. So that is just what my feed looks like. So that is how I edit all of my pictures for Instagram. If you have any questions, make sure to drop them in the comments below. I will be responding and answering any questions you guys have. I'll also be leaving my website and links to my preset packs in the description below. So if you're curious about that and you want to go check those out, those will be linked down there. That completes this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe down below. Go check out my presets, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.